So here's a fact you need to know. Most women don't even know what they want until it's standing right in front of them, and that's exactly what this video is about. Today we're breaking down how to attract any woman, even the one who swears she's not interested. Because let's be honest, her lack of interest isn't always real. Sometimes it's just a test. Welcome back to the channel where we teach men how to move with power, clarity, and purpose, especially in their interactions with women. If you've ever felt like you weren't her type or that she didn't give you a chance from the start, this video is your blueprint to flipping that dynamic on its head. We've been fed a lie for years that attraction is instant, and if she doesn't like you right away, there's no hope. But here's the controversial truth. Women are far more influenced by how you carry yourself than how you look, what you have, or even what you say. Confidence, unpredictability, emotional control. These aren't just traits, they're triggers that make her start second-guessing the story she told herself about you. The average man accepts rejection at face value. A man of substance knows how to approach, how to read the situation, and how to shift her perception without begging for attention. If she's cold, that's fine. If she says she's not interested, even better. You're about to find out how to make her interested by showing up in a way she's not used to. And the beauty of this, it doesn't require cheesy pickup lines or being someone you're not. So before you assume she's out of your league or that her disinterest is permanent, understand this: you just haven't approached to the right way yet. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to do it. Let's break it down. Number 1, ignore her beauty, study her behavior. The first mistake most men make when approaching a woman is giving her power. Just because she looks good, and let's be clear, beauty alone means absolutely nothing. Every guy is chasing her because of how she looks, but very few are paying attention to how she acts. That's where you win. You see, when you ignore her beauty and focus on her behavior, you put yourself in control. You stop reacting to her looks, and you start reading her energy. Is she respectful? Does she listen when you speak? Is she kind to people who can't do anything for her? These are the things that actually matter. But most men miss them because they're too busy being hypnotized by her face or her body. Women are used to getting instant validation, so when you're the guy who doesn't give her that, it throws her off. She starts wondering why you're not falling all over her like everyone else. That curiosity, that confusion, that's attraction being built in real time. She becomes interested in you because you didn't follow the script. Here's the truth. If you judge a woman only by her appearance, you'll end up with a pretty headache. But if you evaluate how she behaves, you'll know if she's worth your time, energy, and effort. This is how men of value separate themselves from the crowd. Let's say you walk into a lounge and there's a stunning woman sitting at the bar. Instead of rushing over to compliment her looks, you take a seat near her and observe. You notice how she treats the waiter. She's rude, doesn't say thank you, talks about herself constantly. Now ask yourself, does that kind of woman deserve your attention? Most men would ignore the red flags just to get a chance with her. But you walk away. That's real strength. That's real power. When you stop putting beauty on a pedestal, you start making smarter choices. And ironically, the moment you stop reacting to her looks, that's when she starts reacting to you. Let the other guys worship her face, you study her character. Number 2, act like you're the prize, not her. If you want to instantly change how women respond to you, flip the mindset. Stop approaching women like they're doing you a favor by talking to you. Stop acting like she's the prize you have to win over. She's not, you are. This is one of the biggest mindset shifts men need to make, but very few do. Why? Because we've been conditioned to believe that women hold the value, and we have to earn their attention. From childhood movies, media, even music, all of it glorifies women and puts men in the position of begging, chasing, proving. But when you move through the world with that mindset, women sense it instantly, and the truth is they don't respect it, not even the good ones. When you believe you're the prize, everything about your energy changes. You don't overthink your words. You don't try too hard to impress. You don't need constant validation or reassurance. You simply show up grounded, certain, and focused on what you bring to the table. And guess what? That kind of energy is magnetic. Women are drawn to men who value themselves. It's not about arrogance, it's about standards. When you carry yourself like a man who has options, who knows his worth, and who doesn't get impressed by surface-level beauty, you instantly set yourself apart from the average guy, not chasing her. You're seeing her and deciding if she fits into your life. Most guys walk into a conversation thinking, I hope she likes me, but when you flip it to, let's see if I like her. That small internal shift changes the entire dynamic. It puts you in the position of power, not because you're playing games, but because you know you have value too. And don't confuse confidence with performance. You don't need to act extra alpha, talk louder, or show off. That's not self-worth, that's insecurity in disguise. Real self-worth is quiet, it's steady. It doesn't need to prove anything, because it already knows. Here's the harsh truth. Women are constantly approached by men who think they're lucky just to get her attention. So when you walk in with the mindset that you're the catch, she notices. She may not say it out loud, but she feels it. Then she'll start trying to prove herself to you instead of the other way around. This isn't about ego, it's about balance. Stop putting her on a pedestal she didn't earn. The minute you treat yourself like the prize, the game changes. Number 3. Approach without needing her to like you. Let's be real for a second. Most guys approach a woman already hoping she'll approve. They walk in with this silent, desperate energy of, please like me, and that energy, it kills the entire interaction before it even begins, because women aren't just reacting to your words. They're reading your intent. They're feeling your energy. They're asking themselves, is this guy centered, or is he just trying to impress me? And if your presence screams, I hope I'm enough, she's already emotionally checked out. See, the key isn't to approach with the intention of getting her to like you. The key is to approach from a place of genuine curiosity, calm, confidence, and most of all, emotional independence. You're not there to win approval. You're there because you're grounded in who you are, and you enjoy engaging with people. That's it. When you approach her like her reaction doesn't define your worth. She feels that, and suddenly you're different. Because most guys approach from a place of lack. They're hoping this girl will fill the gap in their self-esteem. They think if she smiles, I matter. If she says yes, I'm good enough. But the man who doesn't need a green light to be himself, that man radiates presence. He walks over with no rush. He makes eye contact without overthinking. He asks something simple, but he means it. And here's the twist. He doesn't flinch if she's not immediately responsive, because rejection doesn't rattle a man who's not seeking permission to be worthy. That's the Stoic approach. You're not there to get something. You're there to offer something. Attention without neediness. Curiosity without expectation. Presence without pressure. That's what makes you magnetic. And listen, this doesn't mean you have to act cold or aloof. It means you show up already full. You don't need her to validate you because you've already done the inner work. You've faced solitude. You've built purpose. You've cultivated peace. So now a conversation with her, it's just a bonus, not a necessity. And here's what women find most confusing, yet most attractive. When a man shows interest but isn't attached to the outcome. When he can be warm but not weak. Flirtatious but not desperate. Direct but not dependent. That tension, that blend of presence and detachment is rare. And because it's rare, it commands attention. You want to know what doesn't command attention, trying too hard, over-explaining, looking for reassurance after every sentence. So here's a mindset shift. When you approach her, you're not saying, am I enough? You're saying, I know who I am, let's see if we vibe. And if you don't, that's fine. because her reaction doesn't add or subtract from your identity. You walk away with the same energy you arrived with. No resentment. No loss. Just awareness. Now let me give you a practical tool. Before you walk up to her, ask yourself, am I doing this because I need her to like me or because I want to express who I am without apology? If it's the second one, go, and here's the magic: when you stop needing her to like you, she often does, because women are drawn to certainty, and certainty doesn't need validation. So next time you see her and your heart starts racing, remind yourself, I'm not here to convince her, I'm here to connect or walk away grounded either way. And if you felt that, drop this in the comments below. I don't need approval, because that energy, that's what makes you unforgettable. Number 4, flirt. Boldly, then pull back. Here's a dynamic most men never understand. Flirting is not about constant pursuit, it's about creating tension, then letting it breathe. Because when you flirt boldly, then pull back, you trigger one of the most powerful psychological responses in a woman's mind: curiosity. Most guys, they go all in and stay in. They compliment her non-stop. They text her morning, noon, and night. They don't flirt. They flood, and that pressure, it suffocates attraction. But when you flirt in a way that's direct, playful, maybe even a little unexpected, then you step back without explaining yourself. You shift the balance of power in a way that's subtle and incredibly effective, because now she's thinking, oh, that was interesting. Why did he just disappear? That's when her imagination kicks in. You see, it's not the flirting itself that makes you attractive. It's the space you create after the space where she starts to replay your energy in her head. Think about it. When something is freely available, 24/7, it loses value. But when it appears, sparks interest, and then vanishes just long enough to be missed, that's when intrigue is born. And this isn't about being manipulative. It's about being intentional. Let me paint the picture for you. You're at a cafe. You catch her eye. You walk up not to impress her, but to enjoy the moment. You say something clever, something that shows confidence without neediness. She smiles, she engages. There's a spark, then instead of lingering awkwardly or pushing harder, you wrap the conversation, smile, and say, "Nice talking to you, I'll leave you to your day," and you walk away. No phone number, no clinging, just confidence. What happens next? She thinks about you, she wonders who you are. She rewinds the moment in her head because it ended too soon. And now you live in her mind, rent-free. That's the game most men never play because they're too afraid of losing the moment. But here's the Stoic truth. You don't need to hold on to a moment to own it. When you flirt boldly, then pull back. You're saying with your actions, I'm confident in what I offer. I don't need to convince you of it. That level of restraint, it shows emotional control, and emotional control is magnetic. The pullback phase is critical, because that's where you show her you're not available on demand. You're not another guy stuck in her inbox. You're a man with a life, with standards, with boundaries. So flirt with intention. Make her laugh, make her think, make her feel, and then disappear just long enough for your presence to become a question mark in her mind. That tension, the space between stimulus and response, is where attraction grows. And don't mistake this for playing hard to get. It's deeper than that. This is about showing her you're not afraid to engage, but you're not afraid to disengage either. That's rare. That's masculine. That's stoic. So the next time you're in that moment of connection, don't cling. Don't chase, just smile. And step away, because if she's genuinely intrigued, she'll feel that absence more than your presence. And if she's not, you haven't lost anything, because your value never depended on her reaction anyway. Now let's make it real. If this concept clicked for you, drop this in the comments, bold, then gone. Let's see who's really mastering the art, and stick around. Because what's coming next might just be the piece that flips the entire script in your favor. Number 5. Challenge her instead of complimenting her. Let's cut straight to it. Most guys think compliments are the key to attraction. Tell her she's beautiful. Tell her she's special. Tell her she's different from other girls. They think it shows interest, charm, and attentiveness. But in reality, it usually screams one thing: validation seeking. Because here's what women have experienced their entire lives. Guys trying to win them over by putting them on a pedestal, telling them how amazing they are before even knowing them, rewarding their appearance instead of challenging their substance. And when you do that, you're not flirting, you're surrendering. You're saying, I need your approval more than I value my own presence. But when you flip the script, when you challenge her instead of complimenting her, everything shifts. You stop being the guy trying to earn her, and you become the guy who's already earned himself. See, a challenge triggers curiosity. It engages her mind. It forces her to show up, not just be looked at. Because now, instead of her thinking, this is another guy telling me what I already hear every day, she's thinking, wait, this guy sees through the image. He's not afraid to question me, and that's rare. Let's make it real. She tells you she's high maintenance. The average guy says, that's okay. You deserve it, you say. That sounds exhausting. I like low drama energy. She brags about how all guys chase her. Most guys would try to prove they're the best. You say, sounds like you need better filters. See what just happened? You didn't insult her. You just didn't fold. You pushed back with playfulness and presence and that energy. It communicates something powerful. I'm not here to worship you. I'm here to meet you. That's what gets her attention. Not flattery, not gifts, not worship. Just you being real enough to challenge her. Because deep down, she doesn't want to be praised for showing up. She wants to be seen. She wants to be understood. She wants to be engaged, not impressed. Now here's the key. Challenging her is not about disrespect. It's about not being afraid to take up space in the interaction. It's about teasing her a little, disagreeing when it matters, and being unafraid to question the narrative. And women feel the difference between a man who's insecure and combative and a man who's secure and playful. The insecure guy argues because he needs to win. The grounded guy challenges because he's not afraid to lose. So here's what you do. The next time you feel tempted to compliment her right away, don't. Instead, observe something about her behavior, her tone, her energy, and call it out playfully. Ask her a question that makes her think. Disagree with something she says, not to be right, but to be real. Make her earn your approval. Don't hand it out like candy. Because when she feels that you're not easy to win over, when she realizes that your attention has standards, that's when she leans in, that's when she starts investing. Not because she needs to, but because she wants to. And here's the truth that separates average from magnetic. A man who can challenge a woman while keeping the energy playful, grounded, and curious is the man she remembers. So if you're tired of being forgotten, overlooked, or ghosted, stop over-validating, start playfully challenging. Because attraction isn't built on agreement, it's built on tension. Now, if you're ready to shift from approval-seeking to presence-owning, drop this in the comments. I challenge, not chase. Let's see who's really stepping into their power. And stick around, because what comes next will teach you how to make her prove she's worth your attention, not the other way around. Number 6, milestone. Make her earn your interest. Let's shift the dynamic for a moment. Most guys walk into an interaction like this. I hope she likes me. They smile too much. They nod at everything. They give her all their attention without making her earn a second of it. But here's a question for you. When was the last time you actually evaluated her? Not just how she looks, but how she thinks, how she listens, how she values conversation, how she responds to boundaries, effort, respect. Because if you're not doing that, if you're giving away your interest for free, you're not attracting her, you're approving of her. And here's what no one tells you. Women don't chase men who give everything away up front. They chase the ones who make them work for it. Just a little, not because you're playing games, but because you've got standards, you've done the inner work. And now, your attention is earned, not handed out like a discount coupon. So how do you make her earn it? Simple. Don't assume she qualifies just because she's pretty. She might have 50 guys in her DMs right now, but guess what? That says nothing about her character. It says nothing about her values, and it definitely doesn't mean she deserves you, so instead of falling into her frame, create your own. You're not here to audition for her life. You're here to observe if she fits yours. Ask real questions. Watch how she treats people around her. See if she listens or if she's just waiting to talk. See if she's grounded or just addicted to attention. Because you don't want to just attract a woman. You want to attract a woman who respects what you stand for. And respect doesn't come from availability. It comes from selectivity. Now here's where most guys get uncomfortable. They think that if they don't show constant interest, she'll walk away. But here's the truth. If she walks away because you didn't chase her fast enough, she was never the one to begin with. You're not here to entertain. You're here to engage from strength, from clarity, from choice. Let her show you something worth noticing. Let her show you emotional intelligence. Let her show you how she handles disagreement, vulnerability, challenge. Don't just reward her because she smiled, because the moment you flip the script, the moment she starts to think, I wonder if I meet his standards, everything changes. Now you're not just another guy in the rotation. You're a man with options, self-control, and a sense of identity that doesn't hinge on female validation. That's what women respect, and that's what women remember when a man listens without leaning in, when he compliments without overcommitting, when he smiles but stays centered. She notices because you're not handing over your energy like it's nothing. You're investing it selectively, intentionally, powerfully. So if you want to build real attraction, not fleeting chemistry, not short-term interest, but the kind of pull that lasts long after the conversation ends, start by showing her that you are the prize. And a prize doesn't chase, a prize gets earned. Now let's test it. Next time you meet a woman who seems attractive, don't just give her your focus, hold it. See what she does to draw it out of you. Because when you become the man who doesn't need to give interest, but chooses when and where to direct it, that's when she starts to pursue you. So if this landed, drop it in the comments. She earns my energy, because that's exactly how it should be. And in the next part, we'll flip the switch entirely and teach you why leaving before she gets comfortable might be the smartest move you ever make. Number 7. Leave before she gets comfortable. This might sound counterintuitive, but it's one of the most powerful moves you can make. Leave before she gets comfortable. Most men wait. They wait for the right time to pull back. They wait until she shows consistent interest. They wait until they're sure she won't walk away, but by then, it's too late. She's already figured out the pattern. She already knows you'll stay. And when she's certain you're not going anywhere, not because she earned it, but because you're simply available, everything flips. Her curiosity fades, her respect slowly dissolves, and attraction, it dies in the comfort zone. See, comfort isn't the goal in early dynamics. Tension is. That tension keeps her alert, keeps her investing, keeps her asking questions in her head like, what is he thinking? Why hasn't he texted yet? Does he actually like me? When she doesn't know for sure, she tries harder. When she feels too secure, she stops trying altogether. And let's be clear, this isn't about manipulation. It's about maintaining value. Think about the last time you were excited about something you hadn't secured yet. A job you were still interviewing for, a project you wanted to win, an opportunity just within reach, that hunger, that edge. That's the same psychological space she needs to be in, not out of insecurity, but out of respect for your presence. Now here's where it gets deeper. When you leave before she gets comfortable, not in a dramatic, emotional way, but calmly, confidently, intentionally, you teach her something. You're not dependent on her reaction. You're not sticking around hoping she sees your worth. You already know your worth, and you're willing to walk. That's Stoic power. A man who can leave doesn't have to beg. A man who knows when to leave doesn't need to explain. And that moment when you shift your energy away, not because she did something wrong, but because you've seen enough to know she's not investing back, that's when you stand out. You create contrast. Every other guy is still trying to impress her. You impressed her by not needing to. You showed her something rare. Self-respect that doesn't flinch. She may not say it, but deep down she feels the difference and it lingers. Days pass, you don't reach out. She wonders why. It's not ghosting. It's not punishment, it's principle, because you don't stay in spaces where you're not seen. You don't pour into comfort. You spark connection through presence, not pressure. And sometimes, your absence will teach her more than your words ever could. She'll replay the moments. She'll scroll back through messages. She'll wonder if she misread something. She'll feel the gap your energy once filled. And that is when she decides what you truly meant to her. If she values you, she'll reach out. If she doesn't, she won't. Either way, you win because you stayed aligned with your power. You didn't wait around hoping to be chosen. You chose yourself. So next time things feel easy, predictable, or too nice, remember this. Attraction is not kept by being available. It's kept by being intentional. And the man who can walk away at the right moment, not in anger, not in fear, but in calm self-trust, is the man who never gets forgotten. Now, if that truth landed with you today, type this in the comments. I leave with strength because that's not a weakness. That's a man who knows his value and won't let it be buried under someone else's comfort. So now you know, attraction isn't about chasing, pleasing, or proving anything. It's about being grounded, unapologetic, and untouchable in your self-worth. Each move we talked about today wasn't just about getting her attention. It was about reclaiming yours, because the second you stop acting like she's the prize, you become the one she can't ignore. If something in this video made you pause, reflect, or feel seen, good. That's exactly why we're here. And if you want more truth like this, the kind of insight most people are afraid to say out loud, subscribe to this channel. No games, no fluff, just strategy and clarity every single day. Thanks for watching. And as always, I'll see you in tomorrow's video.